Alright, welcome to the first ever episode of Blast of the Past. I'm Braxton.
Andrea here. What's up, guys?
And I'm Logan. Today we are diving into a pretty crazy question. Should we survive extinct animals?
Indeed, you heard correctly. Straight up Jurassic Park scenario. Just you know, hopefully minus the raptors in the kitchens. We're talking about the science, the ethics, and really everything behind de-extinction.
Okay, so let's establish one thing at the start. Logan, can you tell us exactly what de-extinction is?
Of course. De-extinction is basically the revival of extinct creatures using technology like genome editing, cloning, and this is not really technology, but selective breeding. It's pretty much the scientific equivalent of hitting Control Z on extinction.
Correct. And no longer theoretical. It's already happening, with mass projects being undertaken by companies like Colossal Biosciences, started by Genesis George Church. They have millions of dollars in capital and intend to revive extinct species, starting with the well-known woolly mammoth. Colossal's own site encapsulates their ambitious mission, combining the science of genetics with cutting-edge technology to de-extinct previously lost species, beginning with the woolly mammoth.
Woolly mammoths. Damn. So no dinosaurs?
Not yet. Dinosaurs are out of reach because DNA degrades after about 1,000,000 years. But mammoths were just a few thousand years ago when they went extinct, and they have DNA that's well preserved. Colossal's approach uses CRISPR, which is a gene editor that the Broad Institute has described as an efficient, customizable tool that lets scientists cut and paste DNA with incredible precision.
That's correct. It's basically molecular scissors. Scientists would like to put a mammoth genes into Asian elephant DNA to produce hybrids that can survive icy Arctic conditions. Sounds like science fiction, but CRISPR has already allowed scientists to fight genetic disease and even cultivate bruise-proof fruit.
Alright. Amazing technology aside, what's the motive here? Are we just flexing our science, our new technology, or is there something more at play?
That's a good one. And I think the most compelling argument in favor is the ecological restoration. Woolly mammoths once lived in Arctic grasslands in which they trampled snow, knocked down trees, and fertilized soil. According to Colossal, bringing them back would slow the permafrost thaw, controlling climate change impacts by restarting the balance in those systems.
Wait. So reviving mammoths can actually fight climate change.
I mean, that's the theory. It relates to rewilding, which is restoring lost biodiversity to make ecosystems more robust. It's kind of what happened with the wolves in Yellowstone National Park. Bringing them back had ripple effects. The deer numbers went down, the vegetation increased more, and the rivers stabilized. Essentially, one species radically rewired the landscape.
But the catch is that it's complicated. Scientists caution that we might overstimulate the ecological threats. A 2017 Nature Ecology and Evolution article argues that the ecological effects of de-extinction would be unpredictable and possibly harmful. And because these ecosystems have already adapted to lacking these animals. Basically, we don't fully know what will happen when we introduce long extinct animals into our current ecosystems.
Wait. So basically, what you're saying is we could accidentally cause anarchy in nature.
Yep, that's what it sounds like. And there's a sincere moral argument as well. Everyone believes that resources are better spent on saving threatened animals that we have with us today, rather than to revive the extinct ones. According to that very Nature and Ecology and Evolution report, funds could be diverted from vital conservation programs by investing them in these activities. It poses bluntly, are we sacrificing the living to revive the dead? That hurts. Why spend millions to revive mammoths when elephants today are still endangered and being poached for ivory?
Yeah, And there's another thing, responsibility. If we create these animals, are we obligated morally to let them live? And we have to create reserves and save their habitats and protect them from the modern dangers. We're essentially creating new ethical dilemmas for us to deal with.
It's a vital consideration, since such species wouldn't be returning to the world they departed. Their food, their habitat, and even their climatic conditions have radically changed from the past. Even scientifically, if we manage to do it, they may not be able to survive practically.
UC Santa Cruz evolutionary biologist Seth Shapiro is in charge of the Dodo Genome Project and puts this point prominently. She writes in Quanta magazine, you can never really bring something back that is extinct. You can get a proxy, a modern species engineered to resemble an extinct one, but you can't truly resurrect the long past.
Wait, did you say dodo genome? As in those notoriously extinct flightless birds that are just so stupid?
Indeed, even though those birds seem completely useless, researchers at UC Santa Cruz are building the genome from museum specimens. They're hoping that it could inform us about its biology and even ultimately result in a created proxy species.
Resurrecting a body that doesn't have the memories or experiences. Is that really resurrection?
Exactly. And critics argue that de-extinction is a spectacle, not science. There's nostalgia, I guess, for the past. Imagine a mammoth in a zoo. But we ignore these practicalities. The world has progressed, ecosystem has developed, and bringing back these extinct animals could bring disease, disturb habitats, or just fail in general.
All right, let's flip it around. Are there any good benefits here? What if all of this research pays off in another area?
Yes, that matters. Technology resulting from de-extinction could have a powerful impact on medicine and conservation. For example, CRISPR and artificial womb technologies, also being pushed forward by Colossal, could rescue species close to extinction by enhancing genetic diversity or even against disease.
Right. This tech also affect human medicine. Imagine using CRISPR to cure inherited illness or grow transplantable organs. So, even if we can never create functional extinct proxies, the technology itself is revolutionary.
We're walking a tightrope here. We get magnificent powers in these animals, but also tremendous responsibilities. Every step forward demands restraint. So maybe the question isn't can we, but should we?
It's not a question of being scientifically able. It's a question of choosing what type of future we want to build. Are we trying to fix mankind's mistakes, or merely flaunting that we can play with nature?
It's a question of motive. Are we genuinely interested in healing devastated ecosystems and preserving biodiversity? Or is this human arrogance, reviving mythical creatures just to prove our scientific prowess?
That's deep, Logan. The difference makes a difference. Intention governs how responsibly we apply these powerful technologies.
That's on the money. So let's pose this to our listeners. Do we bring back species such as the woolly mammoth and the dodo? Is responsible restoration, or are we distracting from necessary conservation efforts today? Call us on social media, debate, argue, or let us know your pick for a species to bring back. I'm still casting my vote for saber-toothed cat. Can you see it?
As Dodo, my team, they're long overdue for a return story. Ugly birds are beautiful.
Thanks for tuning in to Blast of the Past. See you again next time, unless someone brings back a